Candle making, Jade Natalie. Tinkercad plus 3D printer. Tinkercad prototype L3.
This is a candle in the making. Smart goal. Our challenge is to come up with our own invention or product idea. Design a draft prototype using Tinkercad, then evaluate our prototype. See if you can find ways to improve it based on what you discovered through analyzing the design. Natalie Smart goal. Specific. I will use Tinkercad, a 3D printer, and wax to create a stacked block candle by designing my mold, printing it, and then filling it with wax, and removing it from the mold. Measurable. In the next 6 days, I'll be able to create a stacked block candle 3 inches long, 2 inches wide. Attainable. I have provided a Tinkercad software, 3D printer, wax, and other supplies needed to make a candle. I have worked with Tinkercad before, so I have knowledge of designing on it. Relevant. I'm creating this because it looks good and exciting and interesting, and I'm able to design it however I want. Time based. I will reach my goal by day 6. Day 1, I will create my design. Day 2, I will finish my design. On day 3, my design will be printed, and I will prep it to get the wax in. Day 4 and final, build the candle. Day 6, I will make 50 pieces and get it out of the mold.
My smart goal. I will use Tinkercad, a 3D printer, and wax to create a square candle by designing my mold, printing it, then filling it with wax, then remove it from the mold. In these next 6 days, I will be able to create a stacked block candle 3 inches tall and 2 inches wide. I am provided with the Tinkercad software.
Okay, so basically, to short this up, he did a square candle and I made the same thing. Although it's 6. Modern technology. Tinkercad is a 3D software that allows you to visualize ideas before you print them. Often in Tinkercad, you do a thing called iteration, which means you go over and repeat a process multiple times. By seeing your prototype in Tinkercad, it gives designers the ability to see how well their model will work. You can simulate your designs as well. Exporting to a 3D printer is simple when using Tinkercad. Tinkercad plus a 3D printer equals reduced time and cost for design prototypes. When using a 3D printer, it is beneficial because you can use so many colors and settings throughout your print. That is like how you export.
Relate your launcher to the real world. This launcher relates to the real world because you can make a business off of selling candles. You can do basic candles or complex candles, ranging from a variety of designs. All you need is a 3D printer, candle making supplies, and time. You can even just use a kettle on a stove to welt your wax. Once you get the hang of design, it is not too hard. Candle making is a fun hobby that could easily make you money. This is our candle, the candle versus real world.
What problems did you have? This is my problem slide. There's more. A challenge I had was figuring out how to group my mold shape into another object to create my actual mold. I overcame this by testing out a few things and watching a YouTube video on it. My sides did not line up when I tried to connect them, so I cut off one of the rods and pushed the sides together. I had to go back to get pictures of my project when I was in the process because I didn't do my journal for 4 days. That was fairly easy because I just hit the undo button a lot of times and found points where I needed to be. Challenge I had was figuring out how to get the solidified wax out of the melting bowl as quickly as possible, and I took the scissors and tried it out. And those are the pictures.
Whoa. What problems did we have? Continue. The challenge I had was trying to get the word in the mold how I wanted it. With the help of my partner and my teacher, we got it figured out.
And me.
My print was going to fail, so my teacher stopped the printer. I somehow messed up the design and made my mold 2 different sizes. When I was just about to clean up, my mold failed. The wax went everywhere. This is the letter design.
You should take a picture of what the owl wax was.
I believe.
What did you learn? I learned how to put the shape of my candle inside of another shape to create the mold, and I also learned how to add the rods so my candle could get secured tightly, but those don't line up anyways.
I learned about how to make a mold so the candle wax will fill and turn the candle how I want it to. I also learned how to change the Tinkercad to imperial instead of metric measurements.
Wow.
Day 4 due. Today I started creating my design. I came up with a stacked block design, and after a long time of working, I had it figured out. I learned how to make the shape I wanted my candle into a hole and then put it in the mold when using. I learned how to duplicate and separate my mold into two different pieces. The challenge I had was figuring out how to group my whole shape into another object to create my actual mold. I overcame this by testing out a few things and watching a YouTube video on it.
Today I started to make the mold for my candle. I got the candle to the height and width that I wanted. Today I learned about how to make a mold so the wax will fill and turn out the candle how I want it to. I also learned how to change the Tinkercad to imperial instead of metric measurements. The challenge I had was trying to get the word in the mold how I wanted it. With the help of my partner and my teacher, we got it figured out.
These are our candles. Day 6-2. I figured out that I did not have my measurements right when I was putting the rods in. I successfully got my mold out of the printer. I glued my mold in the creases and onto the plastic. I also added my wick. My sides did not line up when I tried to connect them. I cut off one of the rods and pushed the sides together tightly. Mr. Bonzer didn't have a clamp big enough, so I got one from
Down.
Today's success. I got everything lined up, I put it in the slicer and got it ready to print. I got my mold back on the printer to finish for tomorrow. I helped my partner get her mold together. My print should be done in 6 hours. The challenge I had was the printer was going to fail, so my teacher stopped the printer. I somehow messed up the design and made my mold 2 different sizes. The top is my failed design, and the bottom is the mold security.
Day 7-2. Today I worked a lot in catching up on my journaling and I fallen behind. I helped my partner get his mold pushed together. I had to go back and get pictures of my project when I was in the process of making my mold. That was easy to do because I was able to hit the undo button. I decided now that I'm caught up, I will work on filling my candle mold tomorrow. I came up with a thought that I will bring essential oils to
And did you? What kind of ones did you put in it?
No, I didn't because it would explode.
Today I pulled the pieces that I had to edit the design on the printer. I took the 2 halves of my mold and clamped them together. I had to modify the candle wick holder because the 2 ways it was designed to work didn't work with my project. After I modified the candle holder, I measured the center of the mold and marked it so I could glue it down. When I got the wick holder glued down, I glued the sides together.
And that's his thing. Today I came in and I figured out that my partner had a big problem yesterday. Wax went everywhere and his classmates had to help clean up. I got all of my partner's wax out of the melting bowl and poured it into silicone molds so he can use it later. I started melting my wax and I'm going to be filling my mold. I had to re-glue down my wick because it popped up. I also went around and glued my mold tightly so nothing leaks from my mold. A challenge I had was figuring out how to get the solidified wax out of melting mold as quickly as possible, and I used a scissors, and that's wax.
I had to start the printer on my mold again because it failed last time. I helped my partner get her stuff ready and get the wax melted. I will come back later today to finish my candle. I used my nail polish to fill in the holes in my mold. We put the candle wax into cupcake holders so I could use it again.
That's the made of silicone molds, but that's our wax. Conclusion. Our challenge is to come up with our own invention or product idea.
Wait, where's your candles at?
His is right there. That's my failed candle. Okay. Design a draft prototype using Tinkercad and evaluate our prototype. See if you can find ways to improve it based on what you've discovered through analyzing the design. Analyst conclusion. SMART goal was not met. We spent more time than anticipated on getting our design finished. Then when we sealed our molds and went to pour wax, it exploded. My partner got wax everywhere because he was not expecting it. The ride was a manageable mess. Our time was spent okay. Once our molds were printed, we could finally work, but then everything failed. Next time I will edit my design so there's not as many sharp edges to try to manage filling my mold with. I will also adjust sizing and alignment so my mold can seal tightly. My question is, what made it go kaboom?
Wow.
I would say that I didn't meet my SMART goal. I made a candle, but I didn't do it in the time I said I would. I would say I managed my time okay because I was always doing something and stayed late most days. If I would do this again, I would try and do all the pouring at once so I don't have cold spots in my candle. I would also make sure that my candle wick is held up better so it doesn't sink into the candle like it did. I still have questions on why my first mold failed, and if it was a design error or if it was the printer did not do a good enough job.
And these are finished. And that's it, okay. I think this is
Hey, Western Arcade.
what?
Show off your molds and candles?
No.
Not necessarily, Brandon. I'm trying to
Could I go next?
Oh my gosh, yes. Kaden wants to go.
Kaden, can you play your game in front of us?
No. What about your only successful candle?
Oh, yeah.
That's what
That's
I'm-
upside down.
Yeah, I only showed the one that JD made.
Can I feel it?
Can we smell it? Okay, so why is
That's
AJ and
That's the cold joints. I said it's upside down.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to put stuff right side up.
What is that?
Hey, at least I have a candle.
So then what are you gonna do with it?
Aren't you gonna sand it?
Maybe light the wick on fire?
Thanks.
How does it run myself the letters in back?
I just put them all upside down.
Get it? Well, if you put both sides upside down, they would have been both right side up.
They work. If I go like this, it's right.
Then why don't you put the wick in?
Because how in the hell am I going to take the wick out and switch it?
Alright.
Make Color Arcade by Caden. My technology was Make Code Arcade. Then it's getting started with Make Code Arcade. Smart goal. My challenge is to modify a completed Make Code Arcade tutorial or existing game to make it your own. Include different loops, sprites, and conditions to make the design of fun, interactive gaming that others can enjoy. My smart goal. Specific. I will use Make Code Arcade to create a game by using my prior knowledge of coding the RoboMaster to understand the more complex code blocks measurable. In these next 6 days, I will be able to have made and modified a game on the Make Code Arcade website. Attainable, I will use my knowledge from when I coded the other things like the RoboMaster to understand the new code blocks like the sprite code block, which allows you to make a sprite and use it relevant. I am creating this because I want to code something again and it looked interesting to do because it will allow me to make a game from scratch. Time based on due date 1, I will have made a sprite or the beginning of the background of the game. Due date 2, I will continue to create the sprites or the background of the game. Due date 3, I will try to start the code or finish the background for characters. Due date 4, I will continue to code and test the game. Due date 5, I will modify any mistakes I made on it, and then continue to code. On due date 6, I will finish coding and modifying the game. Technology. My technology was Make Code Arcade, which was made by Microsoft. Make Code Arcade has many sections to what it has, such as beginner and next level skill maps to use. Another thing it has are the single player and multiplayer tutorials that you can use. There are also games that you can use or modify so you can make a game that is like it but still different. There are also many types of games that you can modify, such as 2-player games, single-player games, fighting games, and many more that you can use as an idea for your game. Make Code Arcade can also be used to teach video game coding or art because of the sprites you can make. The picture is JavaScript. Make Code Arcade can be used to teach code or many other skills to make video games like making sprites. Another thing that Make Code Arcade can be used for is to test game code that you are planning to use for a more major game idea that needs any updates for the code. You can also use it to practice using or learn how to use JavaScript or any other form of code it allows. It could also be a way to get ideas from other people's games that they made throughout the day and night. Another thing that Make Code Arcade allows someone to do is to learn how the game works by looking at the code. This allows someone to learn how to make a game after using the tutorials to learn how the game I made it, a real world game if I could. What problems did you have? Most of the problems that I had over this 6 days for Roots to Code. The first problem was when I had the game as 2 players but changed it because I could not get the second player to lose code. The next problem was making the tile map because of the views. The first thing was because the map was too small. I solved it when I saw you could increase it. The other problem was that the other problem that I will mention about the map was that it was my first time making a map with walls, which also caused me to change the map after I made it larger. The final problem was the health problem because if the enemy stayed on the player without moving, it would be an instant death. Another smaller problem was the making of the sprites because you had to draw them, or if you wanted to, you could choose a pre-made sprite. What did you learn? During the 6 days I learned many things about coding video games. Some of the many things I learned are how to make the border of the map. Another thing is how to change the speed of the enemy or player sprites. Also, this allowed me to make the game more playable because the enemy was moving too fast to outrun it. Another thing I learned while coding is how to add lives and a second system to the game, and the scoring system to the game. Also, I learned how to make a tile map with walls after testing what I could use it for. Due day 1. Today I mostly tested what I could do with the code logs, and I also explored what the other things are in the code area you code. I also started to code on day 1 to see what the code logs did when I combined to other code logs. I also tried to make the game multiplayer instead of single player. I used dots as my first sprites because I did not have time to draw them until I found this section of the pre-drawn sprites, which I used 3 of them for the enemy and players. I also have problems with making the player want to move separately while I use the on-player number connected / disconnected to get them to move separately from one another. I also had problems until I got the enemy to go after player 1 until they lost all 3 lives. It would go after player 2. The game's Due day 2. On due day 2, I made players spawn on different sides of the map so the enemy did not defeat them easily. I did not change where the enemy spawned, which was the center of the map. I also made it where a player could not go off the map, which they would hit the end of the screen. Also, since I made it where players could not go off the map, there was no need for me to expand any further. I also changed what my sprites looked like because of how it would have to look. I also added a win screen because I was going to have the player shoot a projectile to defeat the enemy to win, but I could not figure out how to make the projectile. I also used the third section because it was an add-on in the expansion section of the code blocks. Today I animated the movement of players and enemies to give them walking animations. For the animation I used the ones that were already made for the sprites and set the animation to repeat. I also changed the game to single player instead of multiplayer. The reason I changed it to single player is because I only know how to make the enemy to go after one of the players. I also made the tile map to walls and a small font on the side of the map. I also started to make it to where the player moves back to a spot after the enemy covered player's zones. Today I made the first part of the darts to make a way you can win, or you can do when you need the darts to cover the enemy 15 times. Also, once the enemy is covered once, it is sent back to its spawn, so the player does not win instantly. After the enemy is covered once, another thing is the reason why I chose the number 15 is because it was the first number I thought, okay, the first has the map score you need to. I also made the tile map larger, so instead of it being 11 by 11, it is 16 by 16.
What are you
So
trying?
I added another more spread switch for use for the darts.
What you said? Yeah.
Today I made it to where confetti would fall if you get a point, so it was not an instant teleport for no reason. From the player's point of view, I also changed the enemy so it does not stay in the wall because the wall is the area of the camera that follows the player when they move. I also changed the map so the darts do not get stuck and instantly cover the enemy, giving the player points continuously. Also, I changed the background image to be the same color as the grass. The reason I changed it is because of the trees that I used as the walls and the grassy area. Another thing that I did was to clean up the location of the code in my workspace on the computer. Conclusion. My challenge is to modify a completed MakeCode arcade tutorial or existing game to make it your own. Include different loops, sprites, and conditions to make a fun, interactive game that others can enjoy. Compared to what I thought I was going to get from coding my first game, which it came out a little after I figured out how the code blocks works, and in my opinion, since it was my first time coding the full game, it went pretty good on the last bit. Yes, I gave my Sparkle because I really wanted to test the code blocks and code a bit, using them to learn what they did, but then I decided to make it a game before I started Sparkle. Yes, I would do the launch again so I can learn how to code a multiplayer game instead of a single player, which is what the outcome of the game became. The thing that I liked about my launcher was the fact that I could code my own game. The success I had with this project was the fact that I made a functional game. The thing that I learned from this is the difficulty it is to decode a game that works when it is released on the proposed date. The final tile map outcome. The red are the walls.
Remember that cookie we gave you? Yeah, let us go last, please. I'll go get you another one if you let us go last.
I would let you go last, but I would like you to actually be able to present today.
No.
One of us.
Because you guys suck. Okay, fine.
Monty doesn't mean it. He's gonna let us do that.
Birdhouse, Muse Laser Birdhouse.
Are you guys laughing?
By us,
No,
Muse
not
Laser,
at you.
Muse Launcher, level 2. Go!
Our challenge is to make a birdhouse or something boxy.
Foxy. Specific. I will use the Muse Laser to create a birdhouse for Maddie's grandma. By Maddie and I, we will be creating this birdhouse with the Muse Laser. We will get the measurements and everything done by day 4. Ready? Yep.
In these next 6 days, I will be able to create a birdhouse in these due days. The birdhouse will be able to have a bird fit into it comfortable, but small enough for it to hang on a branch. To prove we reach our circle is that we will have a birdhouse in our hands.
Obtainable. What resources do I have to reach my goal? I have my partner, my peers, my teacher, and the internet to help me with this project. What prior knowledge do I have to help reach my goal? Maddie and I have done lots of things with the Muse Laser, so we can for sure get this birdhouse done.
I'm creating this because Maddie's grandma loves birds and birdhouses. She has plenty of birdhouses and will love the one we make. We also love working with the Muse Laser.
Time-based. I will reach my goal by using our time wisely on day 4. We will measure our birdhouse sides and we will also choose whichever birdhouse we want to. Then on day 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we'll be us creating our birdhouse. And the types of birdhouses we had to choose from. Our technology. Our technology is a Muse Laser, full spectrum lasers, Muse series. It's powerful.
Picture the center.
We can just. Muse Laser includes creating custom engraved products and rapid prototyping and specified markings utilizing its 40W to 45W CO2 laser for wood, leather, acrylic, and glass. Common applications include custom engraving, tumblers, wood. Who just chucked that on us? Personalized gifts, small batch manufacturing, and prototyping for designers with users often needing proficiency in CAD or graphic design software. We will be building a birdhouse for Maddie's grandma. Our inspo. Oh. Miss Ma'am.
Where did you guys work this up?
Miss Ma'am. Really, you're launcher to the
I'm
real
not
world.
a freaking man. They cut things to make for people, but they also can make for specifically outdoor. It relates because we make birdhouses in class. We use the Muse Laser in class just like someone with a job did. We created the birdhouse like how people make a profit. That's what Lucy and I did. Students making a birdhouse in class, birdhouse by professionals.
What problems did you have? We struggled with gluing the birdhouse together. We used a blowgun to help. That helped us a lot, so we did not have to wait for it to finish drying. We also put little pieces of wood to fit in the cracks. Our roof and our sides did not meet as much as we thought, so we improvised. We solved all of our problems by working together and being smart. Our sides for our birdhouse. Why are they so long? Because you made my hand go away, and if I deleted them, I would delete all the words. It's your fault.
We learned how to make a birdhouse. We learned how to measure wood and made it right. We learned how to glue the wood together. But most importantly, we learned how to work together. Friendship is the best thing you can learn. You always need a good partner in your life. We make an extraordinary.
I don't know. Our birdhouse drawing inspo. As you can see, I'm sticking out. Day 6. What I learned today. Maddie and I made the roof for our birdhouse. We first need to see if they will fit and look nice on our house. If they look nice, we will be then making a hole for our bird to fit in. We love our birdhouse already and it looks very nice. It is so far a nice shape to fit a bird or two in it. Then after that, we will be done with our birdhouse, so we might have to do another birdhouse. Then we got to stick for the birdhouse. Oh, then we got a stick for the birdhouse. The bird doesn't have to And then Jerry and I waiting for our stick on our birdhouse to dry.
Today, Maddie and I glued our side onto our birdhouse. It is already looking amazing. We are loving the outcome of our birdhouse so far. We just need one more side for the house and then add the roof for our house. Since we will have time left, we might make another birdhouse. Maddie and I love this project and it was fun. We cannot wait until it's done. And that kind of rhymed.
Our birdhouse featuring JD both working hard. Day 8. What I learned today. Today, Maddie and I glued the last side on. We are happy with the shape of it. It looks amazing and we can't wait until it's done. Tomorrow we will plan on gluing the roof on. Then after we will spray Flex Seal on it so it will be good in the rain. Then after we can draw flowers on it, we can't wait to see the outcome. Maddie and I have worked so hard on it. Our birdhouse without the roof. Wait, is this?
Today Maddie and I put on the roof. Our birdhouse looks amazing. It looks so cute. And I might need to make one. We might get a clear Flex Seal for our birdhouse so we can paint it however we want. We might not be able to finish the painting job, so we might have to do it on our own. But we did finish the build of the birdhouse, so we did that. Our finished birdhouse that Maddie and I made.
Day 10. Yes, Maddie and I met our snorkel because we made an amazing birdhouse from Glacier. Maddie and I managed our time very well because we made a birdhouse with our time. We also made the measurements and glued all the pieces together. Maddie and I would not change anything if we did this again. We made the birdhouse amazing and we made the measurements perfectly. Maddie and I have no more questions because we work very hard with each other and we know how to make a birdhouse. We are very proud of ourselves.
We both met our SMART goal because we actually made a birdhouse. It turned out great. We really did not have a launcher follow, but we would for sure do it again. We like that we could do our own thing by ourselves. We made an amazing birdhouse by ourselves and we did not follow any measurements from the internet. We both learned how to make measurement by ourselves and how to glue pieces of wood together. We both worked very well with each other on practice. What? Fourth time being. And we were first working partners again. And again. We had no problems or even disagreements.
And then another amazing birdhouse. And then we learned how to draw in PowerPoint. If you could tell, our titles were drawn.
And pictures.
And pictures. And then our challenge is to make a birdhouse or something boxy. And then this is our vocab. And then we're done. Friendship, everyone. Everyone needs it. Our roof with us. Thank you.
You gotta learn it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know this one's gonna
That
suck.
means we can take 15 minutes.
What are we doing tomorrow? Oh, don't say that to me.
Draw 3D object. Legendary. Sketch up.
Okay, come on.
Draw 3D objects at once. Then you get
SMART goal. Our challenge is to draw 3D objects using SketchUp. Our SMART goal specifically, we use SketchUp to create 3D drawings by watching the tutorials in SketchUp and using the tools we have. Measurable, we will be able to create detailed 3D objects with information learned from the tutorials and by using the tools in SketchUp. Attainable, we have the knowledge from our Explore Days that have SketchUp and the tutorials in SketchUp that will complete our goal of drawing 3D objects. Relevant, we are doing this because we are very skilled at drawing and want to do a launcher and involve this so we can show our artistic capabilities. Foundation. We will do this by watching the tutorials on day 1, exploring the tools on day 2, start with sketch on day 3, work on it day 4, continue working on day 5, and finish on day 6.
about your technology with SketchUp. SketchUp is an app that allows you to create 3D drawings with numerous different drawing tools. We use SketchUp to draw a 3D object of our choosing. We learn how to draw using the tools in SketchUp. We watch tutorials in SketchUp. We learned how to use all of the drawing tools, which are used to make lines, arcs, or simple shapes like circles or rectangles. We were able to use SketchUp to make an object of our choosing, creating it by using the drawing tool provided, and using the information from the tutorials.
Really, you want to do I want you to list those with the 3D drawings using 3D drawings used to test visualize and create objects before they are physically produced. We use SketchUp to create a 3D drawing of an object. We were able to visualize an object in SketchUp by drawing it. SketchUp is a software that is used for real-world 3D drawing. SketchUp can be used in the real world for architectural design, landscape architecture, civil engineering, 3D design, and real-world architecture.
We had many problems throughout our launcher. We had problems with the app SketchUp. We had problems with finding tutorials in SketchUp, which we needed to be able to use that. Another problem we had was some of the things not being included in the tutorial. We had to figure out how to use color tools and how to color different ways. We also had to learn how to erase and undo mistakes.
Yeah, we have to from there.
Tools.
What did you learn? We learned many things from our launcher. We learned that SketchUp is and what it is used for. We learned how to use many things in SketchUp in the tutorials. We learned how to create objects from shapes in SketchUp. Another thing we learned is how to get glass all over the board. The final thing we learned is what 3D model is and how it is used in the real world. What the tools do.
Say we found the SketchUp app. We learned how to open the app. We learned how to draw things in the app. We learned that you can only draw lines. We learned that you can draw a curve. You need to use a different tool. Well, just with the tool you start with, that's a different tool.
Like your curves, probably.
Yeah, different tool. We learned how to erase things. App like.
Day 2, we learned how to use one tools in SketchUp. We learned how to add not just a circle, but also polygons. We learned how to change your colors. We overcame the challenge by discovering the paintbrush. It's 3D design is just one of the real objects that is used for product design. How to put models into interest and
We learned how to use the rotate tool. We learned that our drawing is in a 3D plane. The drawing's position is relative to your camera's position when drawing.